What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you both Splinterlands and Rising Star content today. I know this is a little bit of a funky video because I'm going to be talking about both games. And so if you're not playing both games, hopefully you can still find some value in this on one or the other, just because a lot of what I'm doing is transferring assets from one game to another in order to level up, and then trying, at least in the future, plan on bringing those assets back. So the ones that I'm going to be selling are from Splinterlands, which, oh my gosh, blasphemy, right? For me, and putting into Rising Star. Now, the main thing, and what this video is about, is that I have made the decision to go for the Rising Star Millionaire card, the Starbits Millionaire card. That it's a mission you can do every single day. You have to be holding 1 million Starbits, but you can do this mission every single day, once a day, and you get 10,000 Starbits from it. So in order to get that, let's say I'm starting from completely zero, right? Now, what are my long-term goals with everything? It's still to be an SPS whale. I want to stack as much SPS as possible. So the way that I'm looking at this, right, and this is why everything is so intertwined, is because I'm actually taking some assets, mainly DEC, out of the liquidity pools that I have. And so I'll actually have no more DEC left in a liquidity pool, and putting that into Starbits. Now, there's a huge risk there. I lose all of the airdrop points, right? But obviously, I'm not starting from zero, but the numbers that I'm going to give you are if you were starting from zero. So how much is a Starbits Millionaire card? Okay, well, Starbits is roughly 0.00024. I'm just going to round up and say, just because the numbers are easier, when it's 0.00025, that's roughly $250 US, right? So 0.00025 times the 1 million gets you $250. So if you're starting from scratch, you'd have to take $250 and buy Starbits with that. Now, the opportunity cost of taking $250 and buying DEC would get you, so 250 divided by the 0.0031, I think is what DEC is at right now. Let's see. DEC is 0.318. So I'm actually being generous here, 0.318. So it's going to get you roughly 76,000 DEC, or I'm sorry, 78,616 DEC. So let's come back to that in a moment. Now with Starbits, what is this going to mean if you, within the game? And I'm sorry, I can't go to the mission right now just because I'm in the middle of a current mission. But if I get 10,000 Starbits per day, right? Because I'm able to run this mission, I think it takes like 30 minutes, and you get 10K Starbits per day. What does that come out to? Well, if you get 10,000 Starbits at a value of 0.000, now I'm gonna be conservative across the board. So 0.00024, right? So I'm gonna get 2.4 US in terms of value when it comes to Starbits. If I were to then convert that into SPS, I take that $2.4 and divide it by, let's go here to the price of SPS, 0.117. So 0.117. That is going to get me roughly 20.5 SPS per day. I mean, this thing is going to range just because SPS sometimes goes up to 12 cents, sometimes goes a little bit lower, sometimes Starbits goes up like couple fractions, whatever it is, fractions of a penny. So it's going to be around 20 to 21, or we'll just say like 19 to 22 SPS per day, right? At current prices. Again, we're assuming all prices stay the same, and I'm going to get into it in a moment on where the risks lie. So with this, all of a sudden, I'm turning, the $250 that I got into roughly 20 SPS per day, making sure that I do this Starbits mission, or the Rising Star mission, and get the Starbits. So let's now go back to the DEC side of it and the opportunity cost. So that 250 divided by 0.003194 now. So 78,000. I'm going to even be generous. Let's just round up to 80,000. So 80,000 DEC tokens. I'm going to put this into the SPS airdrop calculator. This is going to get you, at this point in time, only 6.7 SPS per day. So I'm actually getting 3 times as much SPS running the Starbits mission. And I'm sorry, I should have done this earlier. I don't know why it's not in night mode. Everything should always be in night mode. Just makes it easy on the eyes for everybody. Okay, so 6.7 SPS per day. So you can see it's actually more than 3 times the value that you're getting from the SPS airdrop. I'm sorry, from the Starbits Millionaire card in the SPS airdrop. So I have to give credit, and I want to make sure that I give a shout out here to Harris, who's on this channel, who pointed this out to me, because again, I hadn't really thought about the math behind this. I had all this DEC sitting in a liquidity pool, and once I looked at that, I was like, wait a second, I could be earning so much more. Okay, so let me round this video out with two things to tell you. First of all, if you want to get the Starbits Millionaire card, you need to have 1 million Starbits, but also you need to be at level 50. So this is not something you can just do overnight. You actually have to go and grind up. But if you have been playing, then this might be something that is within reach for you, or you might be there, sooner rather than later if you've been playing Rising Star. If you have not yet started Rising Star and would consider thinking about it, again, you're not going to get to level 50 overnight, so this might not be a strategy you can do in the next couple of weeks or a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, I don't know. But it really just depends on how much you grinded and the cards that you get. So that is one caveat, right? Like, people who are playing Splinterlands can't just go and do this. This is something that you need to be playing and have played Rising Star for a little bit and leveled up in the game in order to take advantage of. Now, the last thing that I wanted to go over is the risk factor. So when I look at DEC and the price of DEC, and let's go over here to the market on Hive Engine. Hive Engine, you need to have a dark mode. I would really appreciate that. And if you do and I don't know about it already, then I'm sorry, guys. So with DEC is still above its peg, about a little more than 3x the peg. So the risk here when I look at a token like DEC or holding DEC for the airdrop is that I would potentially lose about 2/3 of the value that I'm putting in. So, right, this $250 that I just put in, right, theoretically, opportunity cost either into Starbits or into DEC, I would lose 1/3 of that. I'm sorry, 2/3 of that. So I'd be down to like roughly $80 just based on, where the expected value is to go between now and the end of the airdrop in July, the SPS airdrop in July. With Starbits, there's an unknown risk here. Okay, so I don't know what the value of Starbits is. I don't understand the tokenomics behind it. And again, I keep saying it here, but I'm going to keep calling it out. Like, I cannot find information on this. And I actually get hostile responses in the Discord, which is kind of annoying whenever I ask about it. So I've stopped asking about it. Call me whatever, but like, it's just, I don't feel comfortable holding a ton of Starbits in general. Now, I'm going to do it for the Starbits Millionaire card because I'm looking at it as a similar risk. If I go to Starbits here, you can see that, I mean, at the lows that we, recent lows that we had in January, we were down near maybe like a third, well, definitely half of the value that we are currently at, but we were close down to that 0.0001 range. Not quite there, but we could, what I'm trying to say is from here, if I were to lose the same amount, 2/3 of my value, then that would be the equivalent of risk of holding DEC. And to lose 2/3 value is not something that I have seen Starbits do. Now, Starbits has actually held value even though SPS, DEC, and like the market in general has gone down over the last couple of weeks. Again, past performance is not indicative of the future. This is just an interesting observation. Starbits could go down like way down. So it's something that you need to be aware of, obviously something that I'm being mindful of, and therefore I'm trying to lay out the risks on both sides and show you that they're actually somewhat similar. If anything, based on recent history, it feels as though Starbits going down 2/3 of its value is much less likely. Now, on the flip side, if we were to have some other kind of bull run with SPS and DEC, something, news comes out, another promo card, keep in mind, there's still 4 more months between now and the end of the airdrop. I could actually have some price appreciation on DEC that would come through because of that. But I'm not feeling bullish right now on DEC. I mean, I'm not feeling bullish on where the market is in general over the next couple of months until hopefully some of the global issues that we've been having, including the conflict in Europe and inflation and all these different things, until that really starts to clear up and we get something that gets investors excited. I'm not bullish on a lot of these things going up. So the risk to me is, what is the downside? So at the end of the day, I don't know what the full downside risk and potential is for Starbits, but I can live with a 2/3 haircut because that's what I'd be expecting to get holding DEC, if that makes sense. So this is the decision that, like I said, I came to today on the live stream. So once again, shout out to Harris for kind of pointing me in the direction on this. There's been a lot of talk about the Starbits Millionaire card, and I've been thinking about it, but I didn't want to move any assets. But as soon as I saw the difference in the math between holding DEC and then holding the Starbits in order to get this daily Starbits Millionaire mission, it just made way more sense to me, because now what I can do, and I don't have the card yet, so I'm still a little bit away from it, but I am much closer now after having sold out of DEC. But what I can do is now start buying SPS with the Starbits that I have. So I'm selling assets here, and I'm going to get some, there'll probably be a couple of days with a lower amount of SPS airdrop. But then as soon as I start doing the Starbits mission regularly, I will start converting that back. So it'll be a nice back and forth. These games are somewhat symbiotic for me in that sense, where I use some of the earnings from Splinterlands to get started in Rising Star, and then for a long time in Rising Star, I was taking, I was just farming Starbits and putting that right back into SPS. So again, I don't know where a lot of this goes in the short and long and medium term, but right now the math makes sense, and I'm going to take a calculated risk on it. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys, or at least entertaining, or made you look at it a different way. Like I said, my mind was somewhat blown today just running through the numbers while literally on stream. So it was kind of cool to do that. And then like the rest of the day, I've been thinking about, okay, I think I really should go for the Starbits Millionaire card. And I finally made the decision to start pulling DEC out of pools, and just going to keep accumulating until I can get to the point where I can request the card. So once I do get a card, if you are following the Rising Star content on this channel, I will do a specific video about the card and getting the card and what my experience was like. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully there's no hiccups, and hopefully it doesn't take too long, so that I'm able to share that with you guys sooner rather than later. But that is all I have for you in this video. So I know all over the place, covering 2 different games here, but hopefully, it provided some kind of value to you guys, whether you play Rising Star or not. I'm a big fan of the game now. I've come around to it quite a bit. Actually, I want to say that I said it on stream earlier, but I'll say it here in a video too. I have come around to Rising Star. As I've leveled up in the game, it has gotten significantly more interesting to see how you can kind of optimize your earnings. And at this point in time, not that Splinterlands is boring by any means, but there is, if I may so say, somewhat of a staleness in the I guess the environment and the ecosystem, and not in a like super negative way, but it's just like, as we go through these waves, right, of every season, like at the beginning of the season and the end of season, when it comes to Splinterlands, I'm like all in grinding, earning as much as I can, burning my ECR down. And then when we get to the midpoint of the season, I'm renting out my cards now because it's just more lucrative. So this is allowing me to like kind of explore other opportunities and go back and forth. And now I'm just kind of rambling about it. But that is all I have in the video. I will catch you guys in the next one, and I will see you around the game. If you have any questions, feel free to follow up in the comment section below. Would be happy to jump into it. I'm sure many of the other folks and listeners on this channel would be happy to help out and continue the conversation there. So have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch up and talk with you soon. Take care.